So when you look for DaVinci Resolve online, you see there's 4 versions. There's Windows, Mac, Windows ARM, and Linux. Now, if you dive into that, you'll sort of get to the point where there's an ISO version of DaVinci Resolve for Rocky Linux 8.6. Now, Resolve 20.2, the latest version, won't install properly on that, and the ISO is very old. There's a reason, because there's some pre-installed packages in 8.6 that DaVinci Resolve needs you to put on there. So anyway, it's a bit of a mess. And apparently Blackmagic will update the ISO at some point. So in the interim, basically I put together a set of scripts that allow you to do a clean install of Rocky Linux 10. And then the first script will basically allow you to bring your graphics drivers. You have to have an NVIDIA card for these scripts up to the latest version. Then we'll install Microsoft Core fonts. I'll explain that one later. And then you can install DaVinci Resolve from the third script, and then you're good to go. Anyway, let's dive in. Okay, so just a quick look at the kit I'm doing this on. It's a Ryzen 9. I've got a 5060 Ti, 6 gig of VRAM. 32 gig memory. What else we got there? Oh, and it's going on to a 1 terabyte SSD's Gen 4. So that's what we're installing on. Okay, so it's just booting up. And then I've got a USB thing called Ventoy. You can put loads of distributions on this and do your install from them. I've got a billion on there that I've been playing with. And there it is, Rocky 10. So we'll select that. And then basically we'll boot into the installer for Rocky 10. I mean, you could just blitz this onto a standard USB key like you normally would. Okay, select install, and just install. I mean, if I was working in a facility or something, I'd have been doing this. Not that I've done that for a while, but I'd basically have a USB key with all these bits on it. I mean, as you'll see, I'll post the scripts online and a link in the description. You can pull down the little pack, and Bob's your uncle. So you could have like a dedicated, if you were wandering around doing tons of these machines, you could have a dedicated USB stick with the Resolve installer, the scripts, and then off you go. But you do need an internet connection to do this. Here we go. So we're booting up. Select your language. Select destination. Now I've got to wipe off my drive here because I was testing that this all worked. So reclaim this space. You probably won't have to do this. Do you want a clean drive? I'm not doing dual boot. I would highly advise you to do a clean system. Okay, yeah, go in here and select Workstation. That's what you want. You don't want a server with the GUI. That's done. Can't think. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, add root account. So give yourself root and put a very strong password in here for root. That'll take 26 guesses. Okay. And then we just begin the installation. Yeah, just check you've got everything. And off you go. And then what I'll do is I'll speed this up to get to the end of it. Yeah, so we go. I'll sped this up 500%. But I mean, depending on what you install, USB 3, it shouldn't take long. I think it's about 6 or 7 minutes to do this bit. And I know it's saying it's downloaded the RPMs, but I think they're on the drive, on the disk, aren't they? So let's just let it blitz through this. I have tried, yonks ago, I tried the 8.6, so I have an old machine to do it, and it didn't work out well. But bless Blackmagic for putting it up there. Hopefully, I was reading a comment on one of the forums, on the Blackmagic forums, that said that they are looking to update that installer in the future, so to give you Rocky 10 or something, but they haven't done it. And as you may or may not know, I do a separate video on Linux in post-production, but CentOS was the previous version, now it's this, and it's all based off RHEL, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So it's a different strand of it. Here we go. It's all banging through now, and that we've gone back to normal speed. That's it. So reboot, and off we go. Up it comes, and this has got a 5060 Ti in it, so it won't have the NVIDIA drivers. This should work for, I wrote the installer to work for any of the cards up from the 2000s, so 360, 460, all those. The next part, when we do the video card installer, should work for those. It won't work on older cards like the 1650s and stuff like that. And then we'll let it boot up. And here's our desktop. Welcome to Rocky Linux 10. Start setup. Don't want Wi-Fi. Privacy. About me. Yep. That password again. Yeah. Obviously don't do this. This is me just whizzing through the install. And then start Rocky Linux. Should give me a tour thing, which I'm going to skip. And then you get this. Now you'll probably be in like 800 by 600, which is a bit of an epic. So first thing you do, I got a file, let's put that down there. And then I've got all this on an external drive. I'm just going to copy it over, but I'll give you the installer. Where is Rocky Pack? There you are. Just going to grab all that. So all of this, apart from that text file, but I'll do that in a different video. That's just in opening up Flatpaks to put more stuff on here. So let that all copy over. But yeah, so apart from the DaVinci Resolve installer, all the little scripts, you put them in your downloads folder, and you also put your DaVinci Resolve Linux zip in there. Don't unzip it. Now this is just the free version, but this works perfectly with the studio, but I don't want to keep bouncing my licenses around between machines. So just give it a sec. It's got to copy that over. And this is how you do it, because you've got such a small space. Do this, right? So you need the NVIDIA installer. So right click on it. He says, yeah, right click. Copy. Get rid of that window, because you won't have any space to work when you do this. Open terminal. You need to change its permissions so it can run. So that's chmod plus X. Click paste. Okay. And then sudo, it needs to be run as root. Paste. And off you go. Now what this will do, this will attach the repo for, here you go, you can see it's all doing it. I mean, check the scripts if you think there's anything weird in there, but it's basically going to attach it to the Rocky Linux 10 repo for the NVIDIA drivers. It'll pull down driver version 580, and it'll do a quite graceful installation without massive reboots and stuff. I mean, we do need to reboot, but it'll just do it. Now this is all dependent upon your internet speed, really. If you've got Lightning, terabyte Ethernet connection, this will be super quick. But just bear with me, just doing this in real time so you can see it, because it does take a little bit of time to do this, and it does look like it's frozen, but it isn't. So I'll pull all that down, install your packages. Yeah, this bit took a little bit longer. I think there's a 84 meg. There we go. Off it goes. Yeah, all that stuff's installing. This is what I mean. It sort of freezes up for a second as it's thinking about what it's doing. But it's basically pulling in the NVIDIA, there is official RHEL 10 repo, which actually is quite new. It wasn't there a while back. You couldn't do this. And there you go. Installing even more, 275 meg. Pulls everything down, so it pulls the compute stuff as well, if you're interested in that. Not just the driver package. And there's a little bit we need to do with the NVIDIA-SMI command when we do after the reboot to pull in the last CUDA elements that you need. And off it goes. Anybody who tries to Google to do this, you'll find you'll have an interesting time. It's very, it's not the most well documented installation method. There's quite a few installing drivers the right way online videos. I just sort of give up with that stuff. Just write a script, and then you know what you're doing. If you've got to do this a couple of times, or you want to get a machine up and running quickly, you don't want to be like remembering commands. You just write a script and boom, it just does it all for you. I mean, as you look around my channel, there's tons of scripts I've done for getting Resolve onto some quite exotic versions of Linux, but it's all doable. There are a few funny ones about to do with the cursor size and stuff like that. Here we go. So the driver's running. So what I need to do now is basically it'll just finish off the script. Give it a sec, and it'll tell me to reboot and also run NVIDIA -SMI, which we need to do. So let's just let it do its thing. There it is. So read that little bit thing there, and then type sudo reboot, and the system will reboot. Okay, so with the magic of editing there, I've just skipped ahead a bit. We're back, we've rebooted. I've actually changed the screen to 4K, and now we'll install the core fonts element now. Well, there's two bits we'll do here. The font thing's really important. If you take a project off of a Windows machine into Resolve on Linux, and you get inexplicable crashes, a lot of it's to do with the fonts. Say you've got Verdana, someone's put some annotations and they put Verdana on the project, and you bring it in, everything will run, but you try and run it, you'll get weird errors. So this little fonts package puts the Microsoft core fonts on there, so Arial, Verdana, stuff like that. So when you move a project between Windows or even Mac, you move these projects between platforms, you don't get them. I mean, they are really weird errors you get. Everything looks great in the timeline. You do get the thing saying the font's missing, but you may not notice it if you've got a big project. You may not notice it, and you'll have this thing where the rendering will just crash out, and you go, what's going on? You've got a complicated Fusion project that you've been handed over, someone's put Arial or Verdana in it. It's an epic, so just run this, and then you're done. And the other one we have to do to make sure that the NVIDIA drivers are fully loaded up is basically, we now, as from the last script, you need to run NVIDIA-SMI, if I've done it properly. And now this will pull down some CUDA packages you need for the Resolve installation, because you've already put your driver in, but you just need to make sure you've got all the CUDA elements and the monitoring tools, and then it'll run the SMI system monitoring information, I think it stands for. There you go. And you can check that you've got your drivers are fully installed now. There it is, 50.580. Yep, that's it. So you're done with installing all your bits. So now we need to jump, I'd reboot now and jump onto the final bit, which is actually installing Resolve. Okay, we're back for the last time here. Last reboot, last part of it. Okay, and now actually installing Resolve. So go back into your downloads folder. And as you remember, you've got, you've already got your Resolve in there, and you need the Rocky Resolve script this time. And again, I mean, you can do this whenever you want, but you need to make all the scripts executable. So basically with this, it's chmod +X, drag the script in, run it. Now, I mess up here, but I've left it in the video. You're supposed to obviously all run all these scripts as sudo. It's going to error now. There we go. It needs to be run as sudo. And then just drag that back over. And always make sure, last time I'll say this, make sure the Resolve installer is in the same folder as the scripts, in the downloads folder. And now this will spin up, and it will start the installer in a second. And one of the things about, there is an extension you can get for Rocky to allow you to have desktop icons. But basically what will happen is this installer is a normal piece of software, so it'll be in the software tray. So off it goes. And doesn't take long. And that should be it, nearly. Yeah, that's done. Close that down. So when you launch this the first time on here, there it is, you'll need to jump straight into, see how tiny everything is. You'll need to jump in and adjust the scaling. It doesn't do auto scaling. I think if you look on Mac or Windows, you've got auto scaling. So you need to jump in. Look at it, it's tiny. Jump in quickly into the user preferences at the top. If you can see them, get there with it. Preferences, go to user. At the bottom of that page, you've got scaling. I'll put it to 150, but you can go up to, I'm on a 4K screen. So click OK, and then restart. Up we come. Click on a project, and you're good to go. There you go. So that's it. You're ready. Have a quick click through loads of media, whatever you like. You now have a fully functioning, and this is only the free version, but it works perfectly on the studio. You're fully working DaVinci Resolve Rocky 10 installation. Okay, there you go. I hope that's useful to someone. One day I'm sure they'll update the installer, but in the meantime, you use these scripts. Any problems with them, ask in the comments. Thanks for watching.